Hey, what's up everyone? Derek Deschamps here for Exclusively PS, your source for all things PlayStation. Here's your PlayStation news for the week. THQ Nordic announced this week that Darksiders III is currently in development and is scheduled to hit the PS4 in 2018. THQ Nordic is working alongside Gunfire Games, which is comprised of several of the creators of the original Darksiders franchise, including the game director, executive producer, technical director, and lead environment artist. Darksiders III is a hack-and-slash action-adventure where players will take control of a new, unpredictable, enigmatic mage named Fury as she embarks on a quest to eliminate the 7 deadly sins. Fury will journey through an open-world planet Earth that has been destroyed by war and reclaimed by nature as she uses her whip and magic to restore balance to the world. No official release date has yet been announced, but the developer has stated that Darksiders III is scheduled to launch sometime in 2018. The Wall Street Journal reported this past week that Macquarie Capital Security analyst Damien Thong has stated that Sony is expected to release its next-generation PlayStation by the second half of 2018. They also stated that this is the same analyst that correctly predicted both the PS4 Pro and PS4 Slim prior to their unveilings. If this is true, it's unlikely that we will hear any official announcements for some time, as the PS4 was announced only 9 months before its release, while the PS4 Pro was announced just 2 months prior to hitting store shelves. During his appearance at the Tribeca Games Festival in New York this past week, Hideo Kojima was asked how production on Death Stranding was going, to which he replied, "Let's say that Norman's character is walking in New York." He then clarified that the game is not set in New York, and followed with, "We're trying to see if what we can depict with Decima Engine actually looks like New York, if it scales correctly and feels good there. Let's say the character goes in an Italian restaurant. Who the character meets going into the restaurant, what he will be eating, all those details are decided. What we're working on right now is what kind of table will be there, what kind of specific details will be there, what's on the specific menu for this restaurant." Guerrilla Games announced this week that Horizon Zero Dawn Update 1.20 will be hitting the PS4 next week. The game's beloved photo mode will be receiving some attention in the patch, with the developer adding 3 new filters, the ability to show a grid, an option to add greetings from to the image, the ability to select different poses for Aloy, select a facial expression, and make her look into the camera. The patch will also include a camera aim sensitivity slider, a new map legend that allows users to filter based on icons, various HUD customization options including the ability to hide enemy stats, quest marks, and tutorial tips, as well as the option to hide headgear. Spanish language support will also be added to the game when it hits the PS4 next week. Following on the heels of the game's official announcement, Bandai Namco has released a new trailer for the Dark Souls-inspired Code Vein this week. The new trailer provides the first look at the game's combat, as well as a glimpse of the companion system, which has players choose an AI companion to complement their playstyle. Code Vein is an anime-styled RPG that has players take control of a vampiric revenant as they battle their way through dungeons filled with scores of vicious monsters and bosses. Players will use melee-style combat with a large range of weaponry and have the capability to change form to gain access to new weapon abilities and overpowering attacks. Bandai Namco has stated that the game is approximately 35% complete and is expected to launch on the PS4 sometime in 2018. Ubisoft has announced that For Honor's second season will commence on May 16, 2017. The second season will feature 2 new maps called Forge and the Temple Garden, as well as 2 new DLC characters called the Centurion and the Shinobi. The Centurion will play as a knight hybrid, while the Shinobi will fill the role of a samurai assassin. The maps will come way of a free update for all players that will increase maximum gear score, as well as add a new epic level of gear rarity. The entire gear stat system will also undergo a rebalance when Season 2 starts on May 16, 2017. Blizzard Entertainment has announced that Overwatch has now reached more than 30 million players. The news came via the game's official Twitter account, where Blizzard stated, "More than 30 million players have charged into Overwatch. Thanks for grouping up with us, heroes. We couldn't ask for a better team." At the end of January, Blizzard had announced the game had reached 25 million players, showing growth of more than 5 million players in about 3 months. Playtonic Games announced this week that the Kickstarter-funded platformer Yooka-Laylee will receive new features and improvements via an update in the next few weeks. The update will include design polish and several improvements aimed at speedrunners, such as the option to skip dialogue faster and bypass cutscenes, as well as the ability to reduce those pesky gibberish voices. The game's camera will also receive its second update since the game's launch, as it continues to be the subject of many criticisms. Indie developer Knudsen Persic announced this week that its title Wuppo will be coming to the PS4. Wuppo is a 2D narrative action adventure platformer with RPG elements where players take control of a small creature named Wum. After being kicked out of your apartment for spilling ice cream, you set out to explore the world and will find yourself battling enemies, collecting items, and solving puzzles as you venture through various environments, including a seaside theme park, a bustling underground city, a vertical train, and the remnants of a lost musical city. Watch for Wuppo coming soon to the PS4. And that's all your PlayStation news for this week. Remember, I'm here every Friday with a new episode, so please hit that subscribe button. I'm Derek Deschamps. I'll see you next week.